Namo Amida.
Namo Amida.
Namo Amida.
Namo Amida.
Namo Amida.
Namo Amida.
Good afternoon. Welcome to our Hoonko Service. Reverend Fujimoto, our supervising minister from the Buddhist temple of Alameda, is here today for this special occasion. The Hoonko Memorial Service is a special time in which we observe the passing of Shinran Shonin, who is the founder of our Jodo Shinshu following. We have so much to be thankful for in what Shinran Shonin has given to us. Let us begin with quiet meditation. Please sit quietly and place your hands together in Gasho. Sensei will ring the bell to begin and end the meditation. The mind of Shinjin is pure and gentle, always patient and enduring, never arguing, never causing suffering to others, but always pondering the three treasures, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Thus, happiness spontaneously arises in our minds, and the light for enlightenment can be found everywhere.
Namo Amida. Namo Amida. Namo Amida. Namo Amida. Namo Amida.
Please stand for the opening gatha, Shinran's family, on page 128 in the White Book. Then remain standing for the reading of the three treasures.
It's not the small white book, it's the spiral bound
This
white
is
book
the white
that
book we're
says
using
Sing
today.
Namo Amida, which is that one.
Page 128. remain standing for the reading of the three treasures on page 8 in the purple book. Hard is it to be born into human life, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One, now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we absorb ourselves in the principles of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves the supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the greatest extent as disciples of Buddha, and be free from all hindrances, becoming unions of the true accord, the life of harmony, in the spirit of universal oneness, free from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad edges of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo.
We will continue, please be seated. We will continue with Samujo on page 24 of the Purple Book, a dedication and sutra chanting led by Reverend Fujimoto. Today's sutra will be Shogunge on page 33.
Hyobyakumon. With a profound sense of gratitude, the members and friends of our temple have reverently gathered here this morning to observe the annual memorial service for our founder, Shinran Shonin. The Nembutsu teachings have been transmitted through the 7 spiritual masters. We gather to acknowledge our gratitude to Shinran Shonin for having clarified and transmitted the valuable Nembutsu Dharma. May we begin to hear the timeless call of reassurance that continues to come from the world of immeasurable and inconceivable light and life in the form of the name that calls, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, Namanda, Namanda.
Butsu Nembutsu Yaken Kyo
修上、信行十字人に難、難修士難無我し、インド再建史論言、中華自治域自こそ、現代証拠摂生意、妙如来音声置き、釈迦如来よらせん、一種語名南天寺、流十大自出頭せ、質の財派無無権、先絶大乗無情報、召喚理事小安が、現人男女六六、信用医療資料が、億年未来仏本願、自念即時入筆上、唯の上昇如来語、応報大理偶世音、天神菩薩総論説、非妙無下公如来、永衆他ら見真実、公選の頂大聖願、こういう本願力栄光、義道群上勝利心、気入六大崩壊、実逆如来永修修、特水蓮華創世界、即生信用法生人、有言の人間人図、有所自由自由下、本心四乱両天使、上皇乱将菩薩来、三蔵ルシ十条教、論上宣行理学法、天神菩薩論修下、王道因果現世願、方言猫ゆたり、少女死に入信心、惑前文武信心法、承知承知即涅槃、一子無量無明道、小不修上回復系、同釈結晶道南省、唯妙浄土活入、安全自力円言宗、円満特語感染症、三不三神慶音言、増末法滅道義、一生増悪死無税、死や了解称名化、先導独病無償意、公愛上三行逆は、公明明見人間、愛有本願大誓会、行者少女今後し、教義一年相互、用意大と逆三人、即小小市場ら、原神公開一大教、元気 十60悪人有所物化薬剤摂取中本の証言水不言大無限上昇が本心言不良教遠臨全幕本部に新宗教書応援中戦弱本願具悪性現代小地理へ越地理上理小地即入百条無意案一心地理の流無料大自主人上裁無変公務上不悪同族自主不動心有意発心し放送説 Shin Ojo Anda. Namanda, 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 Namanda.
We will now listen to a Dharma message from Reverend Fujimoto.
Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to chant the Shoshin together. Sounded very good. Better than I heard this morning. So. Today is our annual Hoonko observance, and Hoonko means Debt of Gratitude observance. Debt of Gratitude observance. So this is our memorial, as it's already been explained, for Shinran Shonin, the founder of our Jodo Shinshu school of Buddhism. He passed away January 16th in the year of 1263. Here in our temples, we recognize November 28th from the lunar calendar. I think most of our BCA temples see January as the Hoonko date, but a number of our temples still go by the lunar calendar. Enmanji and Alameda are two of them, and all of the Higashi temples recognize November. And this is the most important of our Jodo Shinshu services, and the purpose not only to recognize Shinran Shonin, but also to express gratitude to Amida Buddha for allowing us to awaken to this ultimate meaning of life. So in our practice, we're encouraged to come here, listening to the Dharma, participating in ritual, chanting together like we just did, and enjoying time with our fellow Sangha members. And in this way, we practice. So I'd like to read from the Purple Book. You can join me and turn to page 140. So we don't look at this page too often, so it might be good to turn to this page, Shonin Ichiryu no Sho. Okay? So you might recognize this whole section are Nembutsu Shonin's letters, the Gobunsho letters, and probably most familiar is with the white ashes that you hear and we read at our funeral services. This one is also read quite often, Shonin Ichiryu no Sho. And so when we go into the ministry, those are the two primary ones that we are taught and practiced, and you know, each of them, all of the Gobunsho letters are very, has that certain sound. So in Japanese, just a couple lines. Shonin Ichiryu no Gokanke no Momuki wa Shinjin no Motte Honto Serare Soro. So we learn to chant all these enunciating in a certain way, and so most of us are familiar with even the white ashes in Japanese as well as in English. So please listen as I read this in English. Shinran Shonin taught that the essence of Jodo Shinshu is Shinjin. The reason is that by abandoning all other practices and completely entrusting ourselves in Amida Buddha, our spiritual rebirth is assured by Amida through the inconceivable power of the vow. This is known as entering the ranks of the truly assured at the very moment of Shinji. Thereafter, all utterances of the Nembutsu should be understood only as expressions of gratitude for Amida's assurance of our spiritual rebirth. With reverence, I remain. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Okay, so thank you. So we emphasize here in this, explaining the very basic teachings of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, and primary term in here is Shinji. So if you look at those 4 lines, there are a number of very important terms, and you could read this again and again and kind of remind, what is this one, what is this one, what is this one, and kind of come to wrestle with Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. So Shinjin is referring to awakening, our awakening, okay? And that may be our awareness that Amida is not only all things surrounding us, but also including us. So we are a part of this infinite connection, interconnection of all these things, the interdependence of all things. Okay? So we're brought to recognize that this interdependence is all around us, and that we are an integral part of all of this. Okay? Other Pure Land schools, it might be taught that reciting the Nembutsu is the most important thing, to recite it numerous times or something, or maybe doing good deeds, doing compassionate deeds. These are the cause of why we are born into the Pure Land. But here, Shinran is saying, Shinji, entrusting, is the cause of our birth. Okay? So not just reciting the Nembutsu, not doing good deeds primarily, but this Shinji causes our birth. So what does this mean? So Shinji is a key word, and if you're my age or older, when we used to come to the temple, we would have a different kind of service book, a little black book maybe, and we would say quite often, every Sunday, I put my faith in Buddha, I put my faith in Dharma, I put my faith in Sangha. Right? And faith is what was, Shinjin was translated to faith. Right? And people wrestled with this. And so it's not really faith. And faith is really kind of a Christian sense, Christian terminology. So they wanted to find a word other than faith, not just because it's Christian, because it's not enough. Shinjin is more than that. So some thought we should just use Shinjin and just say Shinjin and not try to translate it. Okay? And others we see quite often. The word that was selected is entrusting. Okay? Entrusting. In Japanese, another term is omakase. So, what does entrusting mean? So these are all difficult things. And we always want to find the simple answer. Well, which one is it? What are we supposed to think? What are we supposed to understand or believe? And it's not really an easy answer. Okay? It's just not that easy. We want to consider these words, and the notion of Shinjin is multi-layered, very nuanced kind of thing. So when we think of Shinjin, what is it trying to convey? We want to allow ourselves some space to kind of think about what are they exactly saying, and not try to look for the easy answer. So, oh, I know, it means this. Sensei said this. So chop that and put it in my file. And so it's not that easy. So we're going to continue with this. One of the words I just mentioned, entrusting in Japanese, is omakase. Okay? Have you heard the term omakase? Anybody? Some? Maybe? Yeah. Maybe at a Japanese restaurant. Okay? So if you go to a sushi bar or a high-end Japanese restaurant, you will see omakase on the menu, perhaps. And it means, I'll leave it to you. Okay? I'll leave it to you. So when you order omakase, you're giving permission to the chef to make whatever he wants, what he thinks that you would enjoy and appreciate. You're telling him, I trust you. And you're leaving it in the chef's hands to bring out something special. Right? So at the restaurant, you're showing complete confidence that the chef, giving him the permission to create a dish artfully crafted, beautiful to the eyes, fragrant to the nose, tantalizing to the taste buds, delicate perfection. What might that be? Even describing it, my mouth starts to water. So Reverend Fujimoto of Senshin, he wrote about this, and he says, omakase at a Japanese restaurant is always good. And so, like I just said, my mouth just starts to water as I think about this. I've never ordered omakase. Why? It's expensive. You have to go with a rich uncle or something, then you could order omakase. Let someone else pay for it. So I've never ordered omakase. You go to order off the menu, like a regular customer, the chef can see that you don't really know, you don't appreciate what is especially good. So he makes something to satisfy you and you're appreciative to receive something from the menu. Different than omakase. So Fujimoto sensei, he went to Japan on one of his trips and visiting Kyoto, and his brother-in-law works at a very high-end hotel and restaurant. So everything's expensive. The restaurant's expensive. The bar is expensive. One of Japan's top cocktail bartenders makes cocktails there. So they have a reputation even at their bar. Okay? So Sensei had times waiting for his brother-in-law, and he was going to go into the bar, and Sensei doesn't drink cocktails. Usually he likes a beer, a nice beer. But he was there at this special place, and his brother had told him, well, just order anything, right? So he got permission, right? So he wanted to order omakase, right? So he told the bartender, omakase de onegai shimasu. And so the bartender could make whatever he decided would be appreciated by Sensei. So after Sensei ordered this, he kind of had second thoughts, maybe he shouldn't just order something so costly. It's a hot, humid day. Japanese summers are really, really hot. Maybe he should have ordered a frozen margarita or something, right? Something frosty and it would be refreshing, but too late now. He already ordered that omakase. So he was started to watch the bartender as he starts to make the drink. The bartender called his assistant, bring a Japanese peach, white peach. Right? So he brought this white Japanese peach, and it happens to be Sensei's favorite fruit when he, at that time of year. And so he cut up the fruit, put it into the blender, making this peach in Japanese is called momo, right? So this momo smoothie, adds some liquor to it and pours it into a nice cup, a sprig of mint on top, and he serves it to Sensei. And Sensei took a sip of it. Oishii, tasty, sappari shiteru, right? Sappari means refreshing. So this omakase cocktail tasted so good. So Sensei was cooled and refreshed. How did the bartender know that momo, the Japanese peach, was Sensei's favorite fruit? So omakase has this sense of entrusting, okay? Not deciding or determining or controlling with our own design or our own effort. Everything is prepared for us and received We don't know what we need to do to reach the Pure Land. We can't even fathom what it means. So we should just omakase and trust. This is Shinji. Okay? So we chanted today the Shoshinge. I'm going to have you open these books again. Page 40. So page 40 on the second verse, it says Bokunen Mida Butsu Hongan. So in Shinran's words, Shinran wrote this, Shoshinge. He teaches that the moment one thinks on Amida's primal vow, one is naturally brought to enter the stage of the definitely settled. Solely saying the Tathagata's name constantly, one should respond with gratitude to the universal vow of great compassion. So this is in Shinran's own words describing the idea of entering the stage of the definitely settled, and this is Shinji. And after this, we say Namo Butsu, and this is our response of gratitude for having received this Shinji awakening. So when we say Namo Butsu, it's just thank you for receiving this, that, my life. Thank you. And today, one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this omakase and Shinji is that coming up in a week, where I'm preparing for this funeral service for Louise Yasuda Ota, and she was a member here, and some of you know her, right? Yeah. And it was a couple years ago, she was at service and sitting in Alameda temple, and it was right after service, it's just exchanges, I'm greeting people, and I had said something about Shinji that day, probably, and she just looked at me and said, I just omakase, and she smiled, right? And so, in preparation for her service coming up, I learned coming here, Louise was a member at Enmanji. And people are telling me she was our BWA president way back when she was here. So I didn't know that. And then I learned that she was connected to Southern Alameda County Buddhist Church. And their members are telling me, she used to work in our office. And this is where she met her second husband. He came to visit the office, and they got to be friends and eventually married. So, wow, I didn't know that. And when I went, she was in the hospital. Unexpectedly, she was unconscious, never regained consciousness, and it was such a sad situation for her family. And her siblings came, and each of us was telling me, she always said, the temple is my second home. So she always had this feeling, and it's just so perfectly fitting. She's able to say, I just omakase. And, sometimes we wonder. People ask me, to other people, are there enlightened people? Is it just the historical Buddha that became enlightened? Did anyone else become enlightened? People receive this Shinji awareness. It's not something that's, some kind of mystery that never happened, never met anybody like that. People like that are all around us. We never think it's me. And you don't think I am the one. But someone else is the one. And we don't know who. They don't need that credit. They don't need that label. But they live a certain way. And so through that, we're able to recognize what Shinji means, what omakase means. And so she was able to share so much, just how she carried herself, just how she would smile, just how she would be there, chanting with us, serving tea, whatever she did. Right? So when we say Namo Butsu, we're acknowledging this interdependent net that we are connected to all things, and in that connection, we're not alone. Okay? Namo Butsu is this calling voice from reality itself. When things get difficult and trying in our own life, The Nembutsu reminds us that we are connected and not alone. We are a part of and not separate from. Isolation, rootlessness, and suffering is replaced with connection, groundedness, and peace. With this recognition of oneness, we are enabled to continue to persevere and appreciate the path that we have to walk. So, I'm going to read this Shonin Ichiryu no Sho one more time. Please join me in Gassho. Shinran Shonin taught that the essence of Jodo Shinshu is Shinji. The reason is that by abandoning all other practices and completely entrusting ourselves in Amida Buddha, our spiritual rebirth is assured by Amida through the inconceivable power of the primal vow. This is known as entering the ranks of the truly assured at the very moment of Shinji. Thereafter, all utterances of the Nembutsu should be understood only as expressions of gratitude for Amida's assurance of our spiritual rebirth. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida. Okay, thank you very much for letting me share this special Hoonko Dharma message with everyone, and it just happened to fit so perfectly with stories that are interconnecting this temple and the Alameda temple and things that are going on right now. So it was special for me too. Thank you.
Thank you, Sensei. Please stand for the closing gatha. On Onko no Luta on page 260 in the purple book. And we will be singing verses 1, 2, and 5. any announcements? Thank you, Reverend Fujimoto, for officiating our service and for your Dharma message today. Thank you, Dale Yadu, for setting up the Onaiji and reading the Kantra. Thank you, Kent Matsuda, for playing the organ. Thank you to the November Kaban for the flowers and the offerings. And also thank you to our video operators. Everyone is invited for light refreshments in the hall. If you have not had a chance to washoko and wish to do so, please offer incense before leaving the Hondo. Thank you for attending today's Hoonko Service.